Artificial intelligence could contribute up to $15 trillion to the global economy by the end of this decade. Now that's more than the current output of China and India combined. We're going to talk about AI's promises and pitfalls with two recent news developments. And joining me to discuss this are Dr. L.V. Subramaniam from IBM Research India, Saakshar Duggal, AI law expert, Mr. Pavan Duggal, advocate from the Supreme Court of India and cybercrime expert, and my colleague KrishnaKumar. Gentlemen, welcome to the News9 Plus show. Krishna, I want to start by asking you, tell us about this new humane AI thrust into India. We hear that it's going to be launched into India, and how big is this announcement?
That's right, as you're rightly pointing out, artificial intelligence and its potential is being discovered on a daily basis, and the latest on that front as far as India is concerned is that Humane AI, a startup backed by no less than OpenAI's Sam Altman. Humane AI, which came up with that little square a device, the Humane AI device, that company is set to enter into talks with Indian telecom companies and possibly enter India by the end of this calendar year 2024. Right. That's what we understand. We're talking about this device which costs about $699 or 58,000 rupees. And also, if you want to use it, you have to get a $24 worth of data plan. It's basically like a phone or a tablet or any one of these devices, which is that it's this big. You can make calls with it, you can receive messages on it, and you can use it as a projector. So it's a new world in the making. From the biggest phones and the biggest screens, we're going down to that, and that's going to come to India in partnership with Indian telecom companies.
Right, that's a breakthrough technology. I remember when it came out a few months back, we were all talking about it at a record number of WhatsApp shares, and but this product has started shipping out, Krishna, in the US, right? It's available for purchase in April next month.
Yes,
as early as that.
Yes. It is available in the US. That's the reason why they have a clearly defined product and service proposition. The product is available at a particular cost, $699, and you have a data plan that's going with it. It's like buying a mobile phone in the US. You buy the device and you buy a data plan to go along with it. Yes. So obviously it will start shipping out in the US, as you're rightly pointing out, as soon as next month or a month from now. The question is, how soon can it come to India? Can it come to India by November, December this year? We'll have to wait and watch as to how Indian telecom companies respond to this Humane AI. Is a move to be in talks with them. Bear in mind, it's a startup where $200 million have been pumped in, and you have some investors from everybody from OpenAI's Sam Altman to Qualcomm Ventures have invested in this startup. So exciting times ahead.
Exciting times ahead. And I was just looking at the VG here. I mean, just look at it. The smartphone killer. Imagine a device, an interactive device, which doesn't have that uses your hands as the
projection device.
Projection device. I mean, this is cool. This is stuff of Star Trek and sci-fi.
And a device that's as big as a square, like a watch. The dial of your watch projects on your palm, which means if a message comes, you can read it on your palm. You can do more with it, and then also it is powered with the latest cutting-edge artificial intelligence technology, which means that it is going to be smarter than the smartphone that you're using right now.
Smarter than the smartphone that you're using now, but it has its pitfalls as well, Krishna.
Of course.
And just looking at this, what Google Gemini produced, what CEO Sundar Pichai said, unacceptable blunders. And I want to ask Dr. Subramaniam here, how worrying are these glitches, Dr. Subramaniam? Is it part of the learning curve that are we going to see more of this?
Yeah, we're certainly going to see a lot more of this because AI as a technology is still evolving, right? So, the boundaries in terms of trust, in terms of bias, all of that has not been set. For example, you go to any, generative AI imaging tool and you say, give me the images of the top 10 leaders of the democratic world.
Right.
Till a few months back, Modi wasn't even in that picture of 10 top leaders, the largest democracy in the world, and its leader Modi, you'll not find him in that picture. I don't know if that has changed. And all this is because the data on which it's been trained is very, very Western focused, it's white focused,
right.
And hence what is happening is, any questions that you ask of it about, let's say, the Indian context, it doesn't have that context built
Yes.
in, right? Because it's not built on that data.
Right.
And as a result, until, India gets into the game, with
Yes.
its own, generative AI models using Indian data,
Right.
we're going to see these kind of errors more and more, whether you call it racial, whether you call it,
Yes.
impinging on your nationalistic, things,
Right.
but it's there because the data is like that.
Right, the data is like that, and in fact, that's exactly how it works, right? It trains on data, and it all depends. The output depends on the kind of input that it gets. Krishna, this is going to be a challenge, I guess, until India gets into this AI thing, which we are not. Clearly, we are way behind the rest of the world.
Right.
And this is something that we discussed in the Global Summit as well.
Yes.
Several sessions. But Saakshar, I want to bring in on this point that Telecom Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar said that a global regulation for AI is coming in July. And what do we know about this regulation, and what's it going to look like? Is it going to be like the US system, the US AI regulations that's more liberal, or the conservative EU kind of AI regulations?
Well, one thing is for sure that this, as Rajiv Chandrasekhar has said, it will be more like flexible in nature. Because seeing the India's nature, where everyone, every business, every country today is betting on India, we can't afford to have extremely liberal as well as extremely strict regulations. But at the same time, we are actually right now behind the curve. Because if you see the spectrum, the gap is increasing between technological advancements and the legalities that are coming. No doubt, if in July we are successful in bringing these regulations intact, still I feel there is this term called cyber auditing that we have to do. Right. What is that? In simple terms, that like we generally do auditing in our companies with the kind of revelations and new developments that are taking place in the AI spectrum. I feel after every month, you have to check and balance as to what new legalities, what new rules and regulations have to come. For example, Sora has come. OpenAI is bringing Sora. On one side, we can see new videos, authenticated videos are being developed. But on the other side, I feel this will pave more advanced deepfakes as well.
Yes.
So if these kind of challenges are coming up, then I'm definitely sure that these regulations are coming, that's for sure. But regularly, we have to audit these and we have to bring in new regulations in time.
Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.